Hi, I'm Bill Springer. I'm the handsomest man in this room. And I'm here with Thom Conboy of Heesen North America and Mark Cavendish, the Chief Commercial Officer of Heesen. And we're here to talk about the state of the super yacht industry here in Palm Beach at the Palm Beach Boat Show, and to also talk about our socks. So this is going to be a hard-hitting interview, so pay attention. There's a lot of good insights coming here this way. So let's start with you, Mark. Mark, can you tell me a little bit about the state of Heesen's sort of production schedule and where things are happening in this ever-changing world?
Yes, well, good morning. It's pretty busy at Heesen at the moment. We have got 12 or 13 yachts in build in various stages of construction. Last year we delivered an 80-metre. The end of last year we delivered an 80-metre. We're about to deliver a 60-metre, a 67-metre, and then in the next months there'll be a 250 metres leaving.
The demand is continuing to crank along, isn't it?
Demand is cranking along. It's slowed down a bit for sure.
And that's kind of normal given the craziness
of the 2022 and that period, yes. But it's still busy. The inquiry level's holding up good. Shipyard's very busy. Got lots of projects on at the moment. Yeah, it's not bad.
Are your sort of buyers or your customers, are they changing? Are they different? Are they getting younger? Are they asking for different features? Or
yeah, interesting question. Over the years, of course, the whole profile of customers has changed a lot. 15 years ago, there were a lot of, principally the market was Europeans and Americans. And then, of course, the Russians came into the market, 20 years ago, probably I should say. And they dominated the market for a long time. They, of course, are now no longer in the market, and it's gone back much more to the traditional North American, European, and of course the Middle East has now opened up a lot, which for years had all the appearances of a very good market, but really only now is beginning to start seeing buyers coming.
Middle East, in that the buyers are from the Middle East and they're having their boats in the Middle East as well?
Very much so,
yeah,
yes.
Right.
Yes,
yeah, it's all sort of expanding.
Yeah. Last year we delivered a 60-metre yacht to the Middle East, but not long before that a 50-metre, before that a 47-metre. This is a big trend. I mean, this has changed a lot in the last years.
Right. But I'll turn my attention to you, Thom, because as interesting as the Middle East may be, the American market is still one of the largest markets in the world. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, in general, I don't think that you see the Middle East and obviously the Russians, where there's probably more, say, the 100-metre. Our size range over here is probably more 30 to 60 meters. Mm. I think as far as that type of thing. And yeah, I mean, it's 30 to 60 meters. This show in particular is really we're really liking this show. We've liked it for a lot of years. Even with the weather yesterday, we were commenting amongst ourselves. It's just a good show. You don't see the huge crowds, but what you have is just really good quality.
Why do you think that is? It's because Palm Beach is a cool place. It's got a nice vibe.
I think there's a little bit of that. It's a cool vibe. It's a really relaxed show. It's easy to get in, get out. You're, right across from Palm Beach proper. The time of the year, the weather is great compared to the rest of the North America is pretty, not so nice and cold and snowy. And so, yeah, I think it's just got a lot of, it ticks a lot of boxes and people just like it. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and better quality seems each and every year as far as the quality of the buyer.
Do you have customers here in South Florida that use their boats here and then take them down to the Caribbean and the Bahamas?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at boating generally in the United States, even people from California or Washington State or Indiana or Nebraska or Texas tend to be here. Okay, they pass through here because we got 2,000 miles of islands starting at the Bahamas going down to the Grenadines. So you got amazing cruising. This tends to be where people come to get provision, to do their repairs. The business side of the business is here. It's, if you look at, you've got really kind of Monaco to Saint-Tropez, and here it's Miami to Palm Beach. And those are really the two business centers of the yachting business.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's the capital of yachting in the USA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
It's where everything is, where all the big marinas are for big yachts like this.
yeah, I mean, we kind of say, you know, they used to say it was the yachting capital of the world, but if you look in Europe at some of the places, it's hard to claim that. But the new kind of term is that it's more of the Wall Street of yachting.
Ooh,
So
I like that.
every deal tends to have some tentacle to Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Lauderdale being the kind of the epicenter. Be it the shipyard has representation there, the management does, you know, something to do with the deal wherever the deal's happening in the world tends to have some tentacle to South Florida.
Talk to me a little bit about the American sort of psyche when it comes to yachting and sort of large yachts. Because, I mean, in Europe, in the Med, there is a yachting culture. There is a yachting, I mean, Saint-Tropez, Monaco, these are iconic things. In the Americas, or at least in North America, in the United States, there's not as much of that sort of yachting culture. Is that right?
Oh, I would disagree.
Oh no, I think it's.
No.
I think.
I think you got more of. I think there's more cruising. I mean, you know,
Right.
listen, it's hard to beat the Mediterranean in, you know, June, July, August, September.
Right.
I mean, and it's a pretty big cruising ground.
Sure.
You know, the same thing here. I mean, you got 2,000 miles of islands, and I mean, if you go and look at some parts of the Bahamas, people go around the world and say the prettiest water they've ever seen is down in the Exumas.
Right.
You go down to the BVI. You got the Turks and Caicos before that, the BVI. Then you go down into the Grenadines. You know, you've got the popular spots like, you know, St. Martin and St. Bart's. So there's a lot of different areas to go. You've got, you know, if you kind of go west and get into like, you know, Cayman and Jamaica and Cartagena, there's parts of that now that are quite nice. You go over to go through Panama and Costa Rica and the fishing on that side, and then you can go up the west coast to Alaska. There's a lot of cruising around here. So and then the Northeast. So no, I think there is a yachting culture that's really, I mean, it goes back to the turn of the century, even before.
Even before, I mean,
Yeah.
when was the
America's Cup started in 1876. So yeah, the New York Yacht Club.
The Americans won, by the way,
Yeah.
for like 132 years in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Mark.
Until Australia came along and ruined the whole thing.
Exactly.
Ruined it all, man. Ruined
Exactly.
it. Completely ruined
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Tom,
It's a very sore point there, though.
I
have to say.
know. I'm sorry. Not really. Now, Tom, talk to me a little bit about. You know, I want to buy a boat. You've sold me. All right. I want to go to the Caribbean. I want to go to the Bahamas. I want to go on a Heesen. What do I do?
Well, I think, you know, the one
Ring
thing.
me up.
So I don't call Tom. I call you.
I think the big thing and what you can do also too is that here in South Florida, you have great access to like either a management company, the crew, the provisioning, the lawyers, knowing how to, you know, we can guide you through every aspect of it. You know, what flag do you want to put on? There's a lot of talk about, you know, flags, you know, and what they do or don't do. Access to crew agencies are here, management companies are here, and same in Europe.
You can curate the whole experience.
The whole thing is right here, you know.
Yeah.
So, and the same thing in the south of France. I mean, it's again 2 business centers. So, every need that you need to, from the time you buy the yacht to now you're out cruising, can be kind of put together in those locations.
Mm. And so let me think about. I'm new to yacht. Like, have you sold? You must have sold boats to people that have never owned a boat before.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny going back to what Mark was saying. So, you know, years back, you would find it was kind of the yacht club guy that came up through each size range. You know, he went from I don't know, his tender his like Sears catalog
Yep,
boat. You always
right,
hear that
right,
story.
right.
I don't know. I mean, I never knew
Yeah,
Sears
and you would just
sold
keep-
so many boats
Right.
obviously, but you
Sears
always,
used to sell homes.
Yeah.
You could buy a home kit out of Sears.
but the interesting thing is now we see people going from 0 to 100, meaning that like have never owned a boat and they come in and buy a 50 meter.
Right.
So that's what's different.
Mhm.
Our business model of building on spec really is complementary to the buyer today, meaning that he can because if you tell someone to build a 50 meter boat, it's 3 years, right?
And someone who's never owned a boat
Yeah, and
before.
you're like, wow.
Well, I want to buy it now.
Yeah, and so, you know, the ideal time is coming into a year because you really get to personalize it. So that's kind of the real change. It's more of an immediate gratification.
Mm.
You know, need it, want it, now let's go get it.
Right.
You know,
right.
kind of
I
thing.
mean, you're seeing the same thing, I'm sure. you
Yes.
know?
Yeah. Very
It
much
must
so.
be kind of satisfying and exciting to sort of bring a new person into the world of yachting. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, because, you
We
know,
did that 2 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
During COVID, we had
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
a client who
Yeah.
bought a yacht from us who'd never had a boat
Yeah.
before. took delivery of. It wasn't COVID. It was the beginning of the Ukraine wars.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And do they come back
But
to you and say, "I can't believe that this is even possible"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually, if they get a good taste, and there are some areas of yachting that you can maybe not get a good taste in your mouth. I mean, with Heesen, you kind of get that because you get a good quality boat.
And great people.
And great people, yeah. People really top the boats even.
And good fashion. Wait till you see the fashion.
And once you get a taste of it and see how cool it is to be sitting somewhere remotely and in a luxurious area eating Michelin star food and drinking great wine, you kind of go, this is about as good as it gets.
Right.
So it's pretty captivating because there's not much you can do that is I think is luxurious really in any kind of thing, in worldwide. And then you can go, let's move, let's go over here now, let's go down here, let's be on the same platform now 4,000 miles away.
Yeah, it's a unique experience. You don't get it from private airplanes. You just imagine, as you say, cruising here in the Bahamas or down to the Caribbean chain, and in the summer, the next year, you can be in the Greek islands, anchored off some beautiful bay with white sandy beaches and nobody else around you, and gin clear water to 150 feet.
And 7-star service.
And 7-star service on board. This is what happened with the guy we were just talking about earlier. I think another important point was when you're talking to Thom about buying a boat from Thom, which I think is a very good idea, incidentally. So the other good thing that we have over here, because we have a lot of boats in the States, is of course looking after the clients afterwards. Because once the boat's finished being built and delivered, that's not when it finishes by any means. It's really critical to keep following the boats and supporting the owners and the crew with maintenance and after sales service. And here in the States, we're very lucky because you take care of all of that. Yes. You have a group of 2 or 3 people that are full-time here taking care of our boats. I think that's such an important thing to do.
That's a really good point because true luxury, it isn't just the product. It's the experience, right? It's the service. It's the knowing that you're taking...
seamlessness of it
and
all.
the effortlessness.
Yeah, and even if something goes wrong, even if one of the engines doesn't work, the owner and the guest should never know anything about it. They should just arrive at their destination as if everything is normal.
Right.
Even if the galley has stopped working and they're cooking on a gas ring or something, this whole thing just keeps on going. And the mistake that some people make is that they bring these problems to the attention of the owners. And these owners are paid so much money that the last thing they want is a litany of problems. So it's the crew and the maintenance of boats.
It's critical to the entire experience for sure.
Or breaks the whole thing.
And that's something that you strive to
I mean, we've just been, we've been doing it for so long over here. We've got a complete vendor list of every trade and craft and thing that, because boats break. No matter where they're built, and things happen. So you've got to be able to, as Mark says, and the best experience and the best crew can be ones that take care of everything just very quietly and it just gets done.
Right.
Nobody knows anything about it.
Yeah.
Right. What do you guys think about Kim Kardashian?
Who?
And,
I'm from England.
Yes. Okay. And so I thought I was the only one that had cool socks, but apparently you guys are actually the trendsetters. How does this all happen?
You would think that we coordinated our dressing this morning.
No, but we didn't.
Wouldn't we? But honestly, we didn't.
Not only are we happy, but we're happy and humble, but we're also quite fashionable.
I always wear the code flags, so it reminds me of, it's my name, so I forget and I can look down.
Oh, that's good. Nice.
Figure out.
It's a shame they misspelled it.
Exactly. You saw it here first, folks. Heesen Fashion 101. Well, I'm glad that you all have been with us here on this discussion. Hope you've learned something, and thank you for listening.